Coming up on the sports desk, after a 42-point shutout against Centennial, can the West Warriors keep their momentum going against South? Plus, one of the biggest games in Ambassador School history. Can the Lions make it 6 in a row against a really good Pacific Lutheran team? Highlights, scores, and so much more coming up next. Welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Byron Newsome. As the year winds down, we wind up here at the Sports Desk. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Byron Newsome TV. Show you behind the scenes of everything that's going on here in the Torrance area. Now, one team that has not stopped going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny, the South Girls Volleyball team. Winning 8 of their last 9 matches, the Lady Spartans take on the West High Warriors. It is senior night at South. Renee Bryden here, one of the 8 seniors on this year's squad. They are having a great season, leading 11-7 in the first set. Kristen Fritsch to Bryden, but West Lauren McCarthy puts it back over. West trails by 3. Still in the first, got Gina Cortesi with the lick. But it is McCarthy there with the block. West down only 2. This time it is Hadley Clegg. But Kristen Strauss is there with the D. West is playing some ball, then McCarthy on the serve. West ties it up in the first set. Timeout. Coach Robert Cooch reminds his team what they need to do, and they get it done. Abby Palumbo to Bryden. South is up. Andrea Babasa on the ace. South up more. Then it is Hadley Clegg, who is set up by Babasa. Yes. First set to South 25-16. In the second set, more of the same. Abby Palumbo acing it. 8-0 South leads. Clegg tries to go for 9-0, but Kristen Strauss digs it out and then scores it. West is on the board. Lauren Tam set up, and she kills it. Yes, West down 10-3. Jocelyn LaCroix makes it 10-4. South on a 12-5 run, though, when Gina Cortesi blasts one. It is 24-11 in the second set. Then we have Cortesi. No! Clegg, yes. 25-11, South wins the second set. In the third, Strauss ties it up early. LaCroix keeps West in it. There we go, right in the hole where nobody was. Then Elizabeth Smith with the serve and ace. It is 15-9 South. Then we have Smith, Fritz to Marina Kistner. South leads 18-4 in the third set, and they go on to win this one 3-0. Now, after losing to Bishop Montgomery on September 27th, the Spartans have put together 6 wins in a row, only losing 1 set during that stretch. Now, Coach Rochelle Squire and Coach Ryan Cronin have worked together in the past, so they may know each other's tendencies a bit. Will that help as their teams face each other down the stretch in league play? Torrance is going against a team they know very well, North High. Senior night, Jewel, Katie, Ashley, Pamela, Kim, congrats. Elizabeth Truman tries to place it over, but Erin Howell digs it out. Alana King taps it to Lacey Gallagher. Little score 7-7. Kylie Morimoto, Howell to Gallagher. North leads 8-7 in the first set, tied at 11. Howell, Morimoto to King. Minami Ibarra makes a spectacular play, but Torrance couldn't keep it alive. North leads 12-11. But Torrance went on a 10-2 run. Elizabeth Truman with the ace. Then senior Ashley Gabion bumps to Truman, who sets it up for senior Katie Jones. Off the fingertips. 24-14, Torrance leads. Torrance wins the first set, 25-16. The Tartars up 17-9 in the second when North Morimoto sets it up for Erin Howell. Deep spike. North cuts the lead to 7. Then Morimoto tries to put it in. Watch this, but Naomi Crocker with a spectacular play. And then Truman finishes it. Torrance up big. Then it's Erin Orino for Allie Grail. Torrance wins second set, 25-13. In the third, it is Grail Morimoto. Howell sets it up for Alana King, but Truman with the rejection. Torrance is up early. Alana King gets a chance. She keeps North close, but Torrance was too much to handle on senior night. Truman to Alley Grill right here. Torrance wins it in 3 straight sets. Now, North made it close in the 3rd set, but Torrance finished the job 25-23 to win it on senior night. The Pioneer League looks like this. South has not lost a game to league competition, and it looks like they will walk away with their 9th league crown when it's all said and done. They sit at 17-8 overall. Torrance is next at 4-4, while North is at 4-5. The West Warriors have a 3-5 record in league, while Centennial and Lusinger sit at the bottom at 0-4 and 0-9. Earlier this season, I spoke with one of Ambassador High's team leaders, Nina Bella Gonzalez. She talked about how exciting it was to be at a school that was just starting its varsity sports programs. Now, she said everything that you accomplish, you're the first to do it. And where else could you be a part of something so special? She couldn't be more proud of her school and her team's accomplishments as she leads the Lions against a team that has been a thorn in their side from the beginning. Julie Villanova was on the scene as Ambassador took on Pacific Lutheran.
Thanks, Byron. Win or lose, the Lions are heading into tonight's game stronger and more prepared than ever. Making it to the postseason for the first time in school's history last year, tonight they're hoping to win against Pacific Lutheran for that first place spot. Coach Paul Vigan preparing his second-place team to take on the undefeated conference rivals for their last game of regular season play. Back in September was the last time these two teams met. Pacific Lutheran handed Ambassador their first shutout game of the season. A lot is riding on tonight's game, including playoff seeding. Things started out slow for the Lady Lions. They just couldn't get it over the net. Keeping up with the Lions' spirit, they did not let it get to them. Pacific Lutheran had the height and just kept dominating on the court. But off the court is where Ambassador shined. The men's track and field team kept spirits high. Lions lost the first game 25-14. Heading into the second, senior Alyssa Bobich, slow and steady with the serve, makes it over. In Stingray territory, the ball falls right down. Lions take the early lead, but later on the Stingray serve, what comes up must come down. The Lions lost the second match 25-14. Heading into the third, Ambassador down 2 games. The Lions are still roaring. Off the raised serve, Susie Moon reaches for the Stars and slams it down in Stingray territory for the point. The Lions just could not hold on. They were shut out by Pacific Lutheran. As for the senior leaders on the team, they are looking at this game as a learning experience and going to make improvements heading into playoffs.
I think that we could have done better at our serves. We'll definitely work on that. Communication is always important. I think we need to work on that, but we're getting there.
Basically, we're just gonna come back to our basic, like perfect passes, perfect hits, perfect sets, and all those things. And I think we're going to practice our serves more because we need them to be in and just perfect. And I think we're gonna do great this season.
The Lions were defeated by Pacific Lutheran in tonight's match, but heading into the postseason, they will still snag that number 2 spot. As for practice, they're going to be bringing it back to the basics during their off week. Reporting from the LA Galaxy Soccer Complex, Julie Villanova with the Sports Desk.
Thanks, Julie. Ambassador has been tearing up the courts lately, winning 10 of their last 12 matches, only losing twice since September the 15th. Who were those 2 losses to? Pacific Lutheran. The Lions are 12-5 on the season, while Pacific Lutheran is 17-1. Even with the loss, though, Ambassador will make it to the playoffs for the 2nd consecutive year. Coach Keegan Featherstone and the Bishop Montgomery Knights are one of the top girls volleyball teams in the area, beating some tough competition on their way to a 22-11 record thus far in the season. Now, last week, they were trying to move up in the Delray League standings as they faced off against Sarah and St. Joseph. They beat Sarah in straight sets for a 3-0 win, but their match up against St. Joseph did not go as planned. It took 5 sets, and the Knights ended up losing this one 3-2. The Delray League looks like this. LaSalle has not lost in league, while St. Joseph sits at 5-3. Bishop holds a record of 4-3 and sits in the 3rd spot. St. Paul and Sarah round out the bottom of the standings, 2-6. For St. Paul, Sarah has 0 wins in league action. Coming up on the Sports Desk, the South High Spartans march in the West with nothing but winning on their mind. Can they end the Warriors' 3-game win streak and move up in the Pioneer League standings? See all the action when we come back.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 5 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
My favorite thing about music is it's reliable. It's always there.
There's nothing to worry about when you do music. It takes my mind off of all of the worries that I have in life. You're just having fun.
When I'm playing it, I'm like, wow, this is me. I sometimes just like shock myself.
It's wonderful that I'm part of something that brings me great joy.
And it just helps me cheer up other people.
And the sound just increases around you and you just become immersed in it. You become one with it.
When you play music, you are playing life.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. If you are on Twitter and Instagram, hit me up at Byron Newsome TV. You will see what happens as it happens behind the scenes of your favorite sports show. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but it was a cold, breezy Friday night here in Torrance. The moon was full, while the bleachers were full of fans cheering for their team. It was October the 1st, 2011. The South Spartans beat the West Warriors 14-0 on their way to a 12-2 record, losing in the CIF Northwest Championship game. You may ask, why would he think I should remember this? Well, it's the last time South has beaten West in football. Not only has West been on a winning streak this year, picking up a dub in their last 3 games, they also have a streak going against South. They have beaten the Spartans 5 years in a row and outscored them 201-60 since 2011. Can South end the streak and start a new one, or will West continue their winning ways? Anna Dominguez was on the sidelines as West played host to crosstown rival South.
Even though tonight is another league game for West and South Torrance High School, tonight's game holds some weight on both of these schools as they are crosstown rivals. Now, both these teams are very familiar with each other, as at the beginning of the season, they both marked out on their calendar this very game. And as Coach Holt pointed out, this game is one of the toughest ones of the season. So they better be prepared to come play some ball.
And come to play they did in a second straight shutout for the Warriors in this one, 28-0. But for Coach Holt, there's always room for improvement.
We got to do more of it. You know, we had a couple good runs. You know, we've had a couple good long runs. And once we do that, our momentum gets going. So we got to keep popping it. We got to keep forcing it. And when that happens, our momentum starts going.
One position that looked strong for the Warriors was quarterback Drake Peabody, back after missing last week's game due to injury. But that didn't stop him from putting up some solid numbers. Peabody was 12 for 25 with 112 yards and 1 touchdown.
What's working right now for your team?
Well, we're playing pretty good defense, and Drake's making some good plays. We got to keep the positive plays, no negatives. Too many penalties.
This team has clearly found its rhythm, winning their last 4 out of 5. But their biggest test of the season is still ahead. They'll face number 1 ranked Losinger next week. With the Sports Desk, I'm Anna Dominguez.
Thanks, Anna. West beat South for the 6th straight year. They have the momentum. They just need to keep it going and finish the season strong in their final 2 games. The 2 teams the Warriors will be facing in the coming weeks faced each other this past week. Losinger and Torrance High. Losinger is the top scoring team in Pioneer League, and they showed it, winning 39-3 over Torrance High. Also in Pioneer League action, after losing their last 2 games to West and Losinger, North bounces back for a 45-0 shutout victory over Centennial. West and Losinger sit atop the Pioneer League with identical records, 3-0 in league and 6-2 overall. North High has a 4-4 overall record, but have won 1 win and 2 losses in league play. They're tied with Torrance and South, who also have 1 league victory apiece. The Bishop Montgomery Knights have had a year to remember, and a few things they might want to forget along the way, like the 43-6 spanking they took to St. Anthony the last time they were on the field. How would they come out this week against St. Bernard? Well, the best way to forget about this past is to focus on the present, and that is what they did. Bishop gets their 3rd shutout of the season, blanking St. Bernard 29-0. Cody Coleman and Daniel Schubert connected 3 times as Bishop cruised to another South Catholic League victory. Bishop is on the road for one more before ending the season at home against Cantwell Sacred Heart, a game that will probably decide who wins the South Catholic League title. Coming up next on the Sports Desk, after ending a 3-game losing streak, can the El Camino Warriors win back-to-back games and stay undefeated in conference play? Plus, will the men's soccer team get their first win of the season? Find out when we come back.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Next. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me
And me.
help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android.
This is awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
We are back. Make sure you catch me on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Byron Newsome TV. Send me photos, videos, and just say what's happening, and I'll be sure to hit you back. In 3 straight losses, the Elko Warriors gave up 137 points. Then they gave new head coach Gifford Lindheim his first shutout as a Warrior head man in a 26-0 domination of LA Harbor. You lose some, you win some, but they want to win some more. Can they take down Mount Sac at the Murdoch? It was the first period at the 11-minute mark on a penalty kick. That's what happens in soccer. But in football, they do interceptions. And he just got an interception by Shaman Moore. Not Shamar, Shaman Moore giving Elko the ball back. David Sills tries to hit Mason Mulville, but he's off. They were off quite a lot this night. And one play they don't want to be off on is over the quarterback's head. But it does. Bounces all the way back toward the end zone, and Donovan Davis picks it up and tackles him for a safety. 16-7, Mount Sac leads Elko. Trying to score again, Anthony Bruton goes deep, but my man, number 7, Jamar McDaniel, makes a great interception. Believe me, it was an interception. You may not see it, but it was. Giving the ball back to his offense. In the fourth quarter, trailing 16-7, Donovan Davis makes a few people miss. He gains 32 yards all the way down to the Mounties' 34-yard line. First down, Elko. 2nd and 7. David Sills is under pressure. He throws it to his tight end, Eric Henneman, but it is Koa Haynes with the INT. Elko's chances are looking slim. They do get the ball back, though. 4th and 22. Sills has the ball. He's under pressure immediately and sacked for an 11-yard loss. Satiki Fanu scores a few plays later. Elko loses this one, 23-7. El Camino College has averaged 379 plus yards a game on offense this year. They were only able to pick up 157 yards against Mount Sac on this night. The Mounties gained 204 rushing yards and 315 total yards against the Warriors in the win. The Warriors will be on the road for their next two contests and return home for the final regular season game against Long Beach. As the saying goes, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. That is if you keep losing. The El Camino men's soccer team have kept losing, but we want to win, and they fought hard against Rio Hondo. In the first period, at the 11-minute mark, on a penalty kick, Reyes James scores, and the Warriors are in it to win it. They are ready. Give me 5, my man, give me 5. Rio Hondo is moving around. Edgar Perez sends it to Lisandro Hernandez. Ricky Satelli, Pretty Ricky is what they call him, puts it up and back to Edgar Perez. Watch this. Nice header. Using his noggin. Beautiful play. Rio Hondo is up 2-1. He liked that. Good pass. Masaki Kishimoto gets it inside. Victor Hernandez Foster to Abraham Eunice. No go. Now, El Camino, they played hard. They played tough, but could not get their first win of the season. Elko lost this one 3-2. The Warriors have not scored a goal in their last 5 matches. They got 2 in this one, both from Reyes James. They hope to keep the scoring going in their next match, but Mount San Antonio, aka Mount Sac, beat the Warriors 4-0. Now the Warriors team, they were also in action. The women's team, they had not lost a match in 10 consecutive games to start out the season. But when we changed our calendars to October, the Warriors' play on the field seemed to change as well. Trailing 3-1 in the second period, Kaylin Kamerly kicks one a little too high and it's out. Now watch this. So Rio Hondo goalkeeper looks over the field, wants to find a nice soft place to lay the ball, but the ball finds the head of Chandel Buena, and it is a goal for the Warriors. Brianna Banda is sick. I would be too. Elko pulls within 1, and it would end that way. The Lady Warriors lose to Rio Hondo by a score of 3-2, and they lose another one later in the week, 2-0 to Mount Sac. After not losing in their first 10 contests, the Warriors have yet to find a win in the month of October. 4 losses and 1 tie in their last 5 matches. That is going to do it for this week on the Sports Desk. Make sure you tune in next time. We've got the Torrance sports scene on lock, from the little kids all the way up to the big kids. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to sprinkle your school spirit my way, and I'll be sure to get you on. For the Sports Desk, I am Byron Newsome. Keep rising to the top, Torrance. We'll see you next time.